right, welcome back to The Devil in Detail, the Grendel Reread podcast. I'm Eli.
And I'm Ben. It's our 79th episode of the podcast and our last one, sadly, in Los Angeles. It's been a great time being here at the Grendel News Desk with you here in sunny Los Angeles.
It's been an amazing day, Ben, and we've had a great weekend doing a ton of all the best stuff.
Crazy.
Being within the same place in Los Angeles, you can do.
The food was crazy. Eli, you treated me. The restaurant here is great. You guys should all come to the restaurant.
To the artist retreat at the Cosmic Lion Studios.
I said it was like being at Rick Rubin's house, but for comics.
Oh, yes. Yeah. That's cool. We didn't go out to many restaurants. All we did is go dig. All we did is basically shop. We both came out with about, there's stacks everywhere. I feel like for me, there's like so many comics. That was amazing. We did make, again, I wanted to honor the Wagnerian tradition of opulent feasts and amazing food.
Yeah. So
the Wagnerian
ribs, crab boil.
Crab boil. We had
roast chicken,
salmon. We had grilled salmon, grilled miso citrus.
I was basically on vacation, so I did like a twisted bizarro version of keto.
You did. Yeah, well, you joined us, and I made a couple things.
I joined you in eating meat,
I fried that salmon stuff
for
you to that first night. Yes, I was almost blackout drunk, and yet I still managed to make a pretty decent.
You made beautiful burgers for me.
Crispy salmon skin with a lightly fried miso citrus salmon atop it with a.
I could barely tell that you were that wasted. You were a very functional drunk.
Hey,
well done.
I don't know if I did feel it the next morning for sure.
We hung out. We watched Ghostbusters
Afterlife. Loved it. And hey, we watched Cable Guy last night. Cable Guy, one of my favorite movies. Just was amazing.
Yeah,
I love it.
Had a great time. We saw Joe Matt. We met Joe Matt. That was unbelievable.
Yeah,
we exceeded all expectations.
Yes, we spent basically all day with Joe Matt yesterday. Amazing dude. At this point, you may have already seen that episode, or you'll see it next week. So,
who's to say? So this is either episode 78 or 79.
Or 79. Oh, yeah, you're right. You're absolutely right. Could be either one.
We'll find out.
So much fun. Skylight Books with Joe. We went like hunting for books. We didn't go like dig. We didn't get to. Oh, we went to secret headquarters, but they're not really like a dig-in spot.
We got the full Joe Matt experience.
I think we absolutely did. Yeah, we got coffee, we had lunch, we walked.
We went from the last 20 years has been a great full Joe Matt experience. We got Joe Fat, then Peep Show, waited 15 years, hung out for Joe Matt for 6 hours.
Exactly.
So that's how you do it.
That's how you do it. We got to see not only his old school art, but his new work too.
Like that's right.
The new pages.
He brought out the long gestating LA vignettes.
Yes.
So awesome. They're great. It's like just the only issue of Peep Show that I bought off the rack was his last one. That was in 2006.
Wow.
And I was like, wow, this is great. This is everything I like. I was like, oh yeah, this guy. I know this guy.
Joe, hey.
So it was amazing to see the new Joe Matt work.
So cool. So cool to see the old stuff too. To see Matt showing up in his books and stuff. That was super cool.
A lot of life drawing, just drawings of Matt. Deep in thought.
A
20-year-old man deep in thought.
Yeah. Loved it.
Very cool.
All right, cool. Well, yeah, let's do our last issue here in town together. Issue 29 of Grendel.
Let's Grendel.
The theme song.
With the box ready to go. Fast and slow. Yeah. Vivat Grendel. It's like the devil is my best friend. On the roads with the pen to the fork end, or till time end, like Orion. Jupiter, my kin, bloodline private. We control the whole shit. The wolf won't beef, then we feast off the rip. Behold the devil in detail. Behold the devil in detail.
Alrighty, welcome back. We're getting the we always gotta get the wrap around here. It's so beautiful. Like, look at that. Like, this is a really epic one. I saw someone post this recently on Facebook. Just really, really cool.
I feel like this one might be John on colors.
Geldof and Snyder, yeah. It says instead of Snyder, Geldof right there.
There you go. There you go. It's like these really fine graphic details that kind of speak to me that it's John, but look, there's still J stuff. Like these zigzag carrots are more Jay than John.
Yeah.
So is there anything extra that we learned? This is pretty pulled out.
Yeah, it's pretty pulled out, more so than almost any of the other ones
Yeah,
so
there's a lot
far.
more detail.
Yeah.
I
I mean,
is there anything that we learned in here? What's going on in this image?
I think everything that's unseen is like in Eppy's head. It's like in his own thing. So like all the actions right here, right on the cover. It's everything we need.
The one little piece of info not the one piece. The main thing for me, besides the Grendel lies and the madness, is that he's been dousing his wound in the Grendel drug.
Yeah.
So that'll do it. That'll
jack you
So
up.
the Grendel drug is not super active, but probably psychoactive in this. When you put it on as a solve.
Yeah, as a solvent or as a.
Look at the way the blood moves over his nipple.
That's great
That's a
detail.
great little detail, John and Jay.
All right, so we peel it open here, and we get another one of these opening spreads. Joe was telling us straight up how he did it yesterday.
And there's a point in that explanation where it just goes over my head.
Yeah,
Where
me too.
there's a nut. So this is what Joe said, that yes, this image is a photocopy, size enlarged, paste up from the next panel or whatever it's going to be. And then he started talking about adding an additional acetate panel that flipped positive to negative. It's almost like a digital technique, so that he filled it with this color. So there's like one plate that's just separating the color hold. I think that he flipped the positive to negative and then filled it with the green. And then the background green was on the main. I don't know. He was painting on acetate. It went over my head after a certain point.
Yeah.
He was like, "Hey, take the positive, the negative, switch it this way so that you get this effect." And we didn't ask him, did they teach you that in the Philadelphia School of Art, College of Art and Design? I don't remember the name of the
Oh yeah, like how did they know how to do that?
right? I think it's that like Norristown guys just like they wanted to do it and they figured it out. It's not like they weren't all hardcore comics people, but it does seem like they all like the most experienced person is Diana for doing a zine as a retailer.
Yeah,
that's
true. Yeah.
So that's like they all really had to figure this stuff out. And at times when Diana was talking to us about how to think about where a certain number of pages will sit on printing press rolls.
Oh yeah.
I've never heard anyone talk about.
I know.
Like, that's like
you don't even have to
really you have to know the literal nuts and bolts of the production. So how did they figure it out? They did.
It just did. You had to. It was the necessity.
He also said that these are the money for nothing CGI characters.
Yeah, that's so funny. Thanks for that. All right, so shout out Joe Matt, friend of the show.
These guys have been dealing with a rat down these vents.
Yeah, since last issue, since last we saw them.
This is their through line is basically a very dark and twisted, like Wile E. Coyote Roadrunner. It's like it's not quite so broad.
Yeah,
they're trying to get the way.
It's nice that we can check back in with them.
This is a great.
But here we go. Yeah,
great Eppy bedroom.
Eppy's room is great.
Did Joe gave us some insights that this is like one color, like the brown when it's not getting hit by it might be airbrush brown this way and then green this way, but all the other marks are colored pencil, all the little hashes and divots and schmutz.
Yeah, it's really cool because you layer things that way, and then you just lay the black line over top of it, because the blue line process, it's lightly there. That was another cool thing that he kept laying down, blue line process to us.
I mean, it does really look like a new wave junkie.
He really does.
All these little design things. And he was, he fought Pellon, got his ass kicked, made his little jokes, was a disruptor, and now he's got to heal up, got to pay the price.
Yeah, and instead of Orion over, doing the narration, we got Eppy narration through most of the beginning of this one.
So really tight, like a journal. I mean, it's almost the same font that Hunter Rose would use.
That's right. It's handwritten almost. Yeah.
So these guys are going to appear across the bottom in these like 2, 3, 4 panel bits. First robot comes out, and I think they think that this little thing is the remains of a mouse.
Oh,
I'm not totally sure about, but they keep going after the rat that's dug its tunnel into the PB&J factory. okay, here's Eppy going through it.
Yeah, and Eppy's lamenting, and he finds in his wall, he has this vial of Grendel that he's now going to pour directly onto his wound, And I mean, it is a stimulant. I mean, Grendel has, I think, the effect of numerous things, like as a stimulant and as,
I'm not crazy about this. I feel like I see this a lot happen in comics.
Yeah.
Where people are dripping a liquid and it has to go from A to B, like to make the comic work.
Yeah.
But it sort of doesn't follow the rules of physics.
So,
so it's like he's got very steady hands to perfectly pour out a stream. It's like there's there's a spout on the side of the vial.
Well, it's really cool here too, like how we get this panel and then he kind of takes it and you see his eyes kind of dilate and he's like, and then we have this little drift off into the rat portion.
Yeah, Joe was talking a lot about the deadline, and the work, and really it's very Joe Matt, really being aware of the time and money and scrolling away and investing and all this, but being, he was clearly doing a good work job, being a pro colorist that didn't want it.
Yeah,
doing great work. And also
he got offered a job from Marvel and said no.
Don't want to do it.
That's balls of steel. All right, so here we go. We get Pellon Cross, his Black Ops science fiction mission that goes on here.
The Sahara Desert.
Yeah, the Saharan Desert. Like this, Ben said he thinks it's an atomic blast in stasis, like a mushroom cloud in stasis.
I don't know what it is, but that's what
it
the
looks
pictures,
like it or something.
Here's what happens. There's a few kind of strange things going on. In the last issue, Pellon Cross already went to the Sahara Desert and failed the mission and had to get rescued by his COP buddies.
Yes.
He was brought back to Pope Innocent, who said, we're getting plutonium. I need you to go out to the Sahara and go steal the plutonium. We don't know exactly what happened in the wars, but we do know that when we get there, Pellon Cross is going to narrate this highly technical, heist plot of science fiction noodling he's going to jailbreak in to get some plutonium.
Yeah. Samples from the inside, the heated center of this thing. And so he goes in on his bike with his Zark.
Yeah. It's kind of it's a balancing act.
Yeah. So we're back and forth mostly between Pellon and Eppy's adventures on this one, and Eppy's kind of the breakdown of his Eppy Thatcher side, making way for the Grendel to take over his entire world.
One thing that we said about this page was that for the first time we get a crowd
street level.
I mean, the Bazaar has it, but it's not really it's not letting us.
It's not public transportation.
Yeah, exactly.
Where he's riding with the Shadow, the Mummy, and the Bride of Frankenstein,
and they've all got religious stuff. It's taken over the entire thing. This is scary.
Yeah,
this is too the atmosphere here.
Oh, that's nice. That's some cool stuff. Look, it's probably the similar. And Joe said too that if it would be this orange and say this orange, he would just do the whole page of the orange first. So he would cut all those holes or whatever, and then just do all the orange.
Yeah, dropping the Doc Martens into the side feeder of the airbrush.
Yeah. All right, and so he's coming back, and everyone's getting off at church. Everyone's ready to give everything they have to this thing that he's just not even.
Well, he's they're totally brainwashed, and they grovel to get in so they can grovel inside.
He goes back to the PB&J factory where his little boss.
He's got to wear the yellow shirt, but underneath he's totally new age.
Oh yeah, he's peeling out.
He's got that Mike and Ike's look.
And so this, his boss is just riding him. Another thing, you're fucking lay too much. You fucked up 32 cases of all PBs and no Js or something. You fucked up all the PB&Js.
31 crates, not one more. Fuck you. This is pure Jake Elbow.
Oh yeah.
Is it?
Yeah.
That's what I think.
I think so. And then right here, Eppy sees red. He's gone. He Grendelizes and smacks his boss. And then they freaking straight up Uncle Phil to jazz him right out the fucking door. Ah! as the rat continues his rise, and you know that the rat is analogous to Eppy, and like, you know, he's rising, but they think that something's going to happen, and it's just like, ooh, we think it's bad. Anyway, back to Pellon Cross, where he's into this hyper.
He's gone through the beams.
Gone through the initial beams.
Now it's the earthquake.
Right. And now he sees the earth like floating and like the grounds orbiting around him.
There's so much text here.
Yeah.
Very little of it is plot, or none of it's character.
It's like second by second of like Pellon Cross is like inner
explaining
monologue.
the technology of
Yeah.
like how it works and what his suit is doing.
How his bike is
Yeah.
vintage and rebuilt.
So I mean, I guess in that, like, we're supposed to take that he is a shallow kind of guy because he's brave. I don't know. He's got all this. The character has all these opportunities to say anything about himself,
yeah.
and it's very pointedly like just about
Yeah.
the mission and how
It's a
single-minded
mission
he
log,
is.
basically. It's
Yeah.
not, it's like for his report. He went in. All right, so now he's dodging stuff. He's like close now, full throttle. He's going away, and
This is a cool panel.
yeah, that's very
The
powerful.
double mouth. It's got another piece for his mouth.
All right, so he just barely made it out alive. That's a pretty sweet panel. And then we're back to Eppy, we're back to the bazaar. We're back to seeing the people on street level. We're getting a good look at all these people. And again, we're getting a similar thing like some of the previous things where we just get single words. We just get thoughts from, you know, the peanut gallery, from Crazy Town, from.
Yeah, this is the funniest, the popesicle.
Mhm.
And it's green, it's splattered green here, and then he has a block of ice with like an ice pick in it,
Yeah.
and they're just like sitting out like churros. This is Eppy casing the this is a model of what they're doing, and so he's gonna build an architectural map within his
like
mind.
in his mind. Yeah, exactly. As the rat sees a bit of cheese.
Yeah, and then this Elvis preacher is, you know, quoting Paul Simon.
Yeah.
Praise
them. But I mean, that is like the home of Elvis and stuff. But I mean, it's the lyrics. It's
like the king became the king upon earth, you know.
Exactly.
And it's so much
anything
later
about
that
him.
he's a myth, he's a legend. This is the second or third photo ad consecutively in the Grendel series. So that's interesting. This is for Ribbit, a book that was previously advertised in here with a Frank Thorne drawing. He's the Red Sonja artist. It's kind of funny that they do this because I think he was known with Wendy Pini for doing that early cosplay stuff.
Oh, wow.
Where they would do like a theater bit where she would be Red Sonja and he was a wizard, and they would do a show at cons.
Oh, cool.
So I think it's kind of funny that if this is Frank Thorne, that he's doing that kind of similar bit. She's one serious babe, Ribbit. Okay. I don't know if it ever came out.
You don't think it ever even came out at all?
I've never, the only place I've seen it is in Kamiko ads. But there's been times where, like with that Gene Colan book, where it was all good.
Yeah. Should we look it up?
No.
Oh, okay.
No. I want the mystery, the sweet, sweet mystery.
All right. So yeah, then we see this like what is it? It's like it's a weather thing, or it's like a news copter thing. He says
Some little satellite drone comes down and takes off Elvis's arm.
Yeah, it's coming down. And so then that begins like a catalyst in the crowd where Eppy is like starting to go through the other side. Again, they're saying they're all fans of Stedman, and we knew that. And then this is very Stedman-esque.
So he's like overstimulated by the crowd and goes nuts.
He's like freaking a little bit. He's tweaking.
The rat's eating the poison cheese.
When we get back here to Pellon Cross's quest, as he's set his bike to like harness the sun and then use that to blast.
This is on top of a floating meteor landmass with an asteroid belt floating around underneath it.
Hell yeah.
Okay.
And it's in the Sahara.
And it's inside a ring of pink lasers.
Exactly. Okay. All right. And so he's using that sun. He's also building a collector gun, like a collector thing. And
this might be what Innocent gave him or something.
I think, yeah, that's like I'm saying, the collector.
Yeah.
That he'll hold on.
It's great that this is the only cool color.
Oh yeah.
In the page.
Because they're going to setting up a whole new place. And so we see Eppy return to this like Washington Square Park type of
the Demon Arch.
Yeah, exactly.
It's like the Dave Sim.
I mean, look,
Demon Face Arch.
Oh, is that?
He wigs out.
giggling
This is
as
great.
all this evil enters him. So fucking
Yeah,
cool.
it's like a nihilistic like thing where like I've been hurt so badly by this. They're my enemy. It just makes sense. Like there's nothing that I can do to be like effectual that's peaceful. I might as well give in to all this and like take it out on evil. I really do feel like there's a missing part of like vampire lore, maybe that I haven't read yet, that where it's like there's a vampire energy that's related to the Grendel urge, you know, how those things kind of relate to each other, or if they're even different at all.
Oh yeah, there are these age-old powers and furies that just exist on Earth, and
primordial shit that touches all of us, you know, and the stories that it weaves through us.
Exactly.
Nice, man.
Hell yeah. All right, so we see him again. We see this like crazy Geldoffian,
the exaggeration
crangly,
for sure.
like Grendel floating through the air. This is in his mind as he like descends into this crazy, like, I don't know, lava and hands and
this is sort of the way that the other Grendel monster took shape, where there was other industrial and like architectural parts of it. It wasn't just a monster. It was like a golem of Denver, basically.
Yeah.
Really cool. All right, and this is funny because these guys are photostated here and here and here and here, as the rat pukes from the poison cheese and then like holds its head like it's hungover. Did you notice these?
Oh wow!
What the fuck? I think there was another one elsewhere. Maybe not. I think I saw this one, but not this one. Yeah.
Oop.
That is. So this is an upside down cross, and here's a handprint or something.
Uh-oh.
That was weird.
Yeah, that was. Oh, I did skip. All right. Okay. So now we're back with Wiggins. He's into this sorry, not Wiggins.
Same thing.
I wish it was Wiggins.
Yeah.
No, it's Pellon Cross, and he's in there. He's kind of like in this kind of like Mobius-y kind of like 2001
for sure,
the Brain of Hal type of center core type shit. And he is like he's getting ready. He's feeling it.
The air
approaching
is like gelatinous moving through.
Oh yeah, exactly.
Butter.
Yeah.
Really
cool. Yeah, this is awesome.
This is him lifting a membrane like this, like a curtain. Yeah. And like Joe does a pretty good job with that. It's a little weird that there's a black holding line though, right? Yeah, but like the amount of coordination that it takes to describe these ideas and have someone execute it exactly as you see it. It
was a lot harder to do knockouts, like Brandon calls them knockouts. It's a much harder process to do that back then, which is what you'd want to do.
It's just better to have someone that you can trust to just do the work on time.
Yeah.
Because it's
awesomely.
Because it seems like, well, Bernie, Matt said that he was living with Bernie, probably not too far off from around this time in Montreal. And so there was communication.
Yeah.
Joe did 90 pages of Bernie's work.
Houses,
Yeah. So like those pages were like worked on two different desks, the same house.
Yeah.
All right, cool.
We're back with Eppy, and much like the rat from before, he has puked. He got all sick and crazed from his Grendel bender.
He dons his Grendel gear.
This is the first time
I don't remember what any of this says. He's that I'm crazy, I must do what I must do. I am destiny, I am rage.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So this is the first time we see him like don his guard.
Oh yeah. The transformation.
We almost never see it, honestly, with any of the Grendels, you know.
Right. With him, it's at home, the tech, the surgery, the mutilation, and the squalor.
Yeah.
But it's not this.
No. And then look, the cheese, the rat has something else it's looking to do. It's looking to learn more from the Kamiko blimp and all the rest of their Kamiko family of comics. Oof. So here we go. Pellon is in this liquid, creamy.
I did not realize that this was going to happen.
Oh yeah, like you thought the door was going to fall out, but actually it's like
no. I didn't expect the color holds to be this intense.
Oh yeah,
this awesome. Is especially this last one.
Yeah,
like that, man.
That's like a knockout, like we were saying.
Yeah. Where like awesome. there's a if it's blue, I guess like there might be an additional blue plate just for that shade.
Oh, that they went over top of that,
something like that, or somehow they married that image to the blue plate. It's funny because these are much simpler. They almost look like faded.
Yeah,
there's a very high level of control because he gets on Joe's part because the figure gets clearer as he kind of comes through the vagina.
That's really cool. And then at the top, there's like a black cube.
There's a floating black death cube.
Yeah.
So it's I think that your comparison to Mobius is pretty apt.
Yeah.
I
Like
just-
the Adina books where there's
Oh,
that
for
big
sure.
triangle thing that they go to.
Yeah, totally.
The pyramid.
Okay, so meanwhile, the arch is at a construction site in the backyard of the tower.
Yeah.
I really like this, how there's consecutive different black planes, like this is not
Mhm.
totally black, figures here, and then fade up into black to fill with red and browns, and then fade back into black. So you can use a lot of black, but just kind of like pop in a little atmospheric haze in there.
Yeah.
Really, really cool approach. Okay, so these guys,
Yeah, they
these are
come
the
with the
church
wreck it.
cleanup guys.
Yeah. They're like, we're gonna wreck it. And Eppy floats down with his super cool. I noticed in the other coloring too, they didn't make it as cool with like bright yellow or green, like how they do here. They
Oh,
just had
really?
it be a solid color. I was
It's
like,
funny because like you would think that this would be a good opportunity to toss the airbrush around a little bit.
Exactly.
Get some energy
heat
going
down there or
here.
something. Yeah. All right. And so now these guys are just out of here. They're like, yeah, maybe we'll get it. We got the rat.
Peace.
Yeah. All right.
Okay.
So here's Pellon Cross underneath. This is basically like a cantilever. If you take any of this,
What's a cantilever?
it's like you have like a rock on one side and a rope that goes up to like a point
like you-
and then
you
comes
drop
on
it
the other
down?
side and they're like weighted down or
Uh-huh.
something. So like if anything on this side is less
That
or
rises up.
something, yeah, it would rise up and then that
It's a
big
screw.
thing
That's
is
what
like-
the screw is saying.
Yeah, well, yeah. So he puts his little tool down in there and samples a bit of and gets his like, retroactive shit from the ground.
It's half-life shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is where they talk about like the
Like
California.
Radium, curium, and thorium, as well as francium, californium, etc. Yeah.
Right, because so this is hundreds of years after a nuclear blast.
Yeah.
Atomics are completely taboo. These are ideas that are only briefly mentioned in the story, but they
Yes.
are a huge part of the subtext because there's a nuclear holocaust that happens off camera in this book.
Well, there's also the one that happens on camera from the incubation.
Right,
Where you
that's
think
it.
there's
All you
also
see is the
one.
bomb. You don't see
Yeah,
the
you don't
aftermath.
see
All
the
you see is
planning
them
or who did it.
rebuilding. You
Yeah.
don't see the fires and fury.
Yeah, that's another good story we could tell.
So that's I think that's really funny.
Mhm. All right, so we're back to Eppy, and these guys are trying to wreck his shrine, his place, and he just goes down and kicks their ass. If you are refuse, you smell of bodies and piss. Pow! Get out of my house.
Yeah, just madness and aggression.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And again, we see as these guys thinking they were going to get out, here comes this rat all pissed off, and he's kicking back too.
Maybe he's got the. I actually didn't see this part.
Oh yeah.
I have no idea what happens to those guys.
Rapid it. All right, so Pellon Cross like just barely made it out alive, but now here comes a robot to get him again. He's zapping them. They're zapping back and forth.
It's a Japanese
Love.
robot, he says.
Oh yeah, I love
A little bit of Bernie made its way in.
Yeah, it's great.
All right, so he shoots him in the belly and
Mhm. And he's on the way out. His adrenals are not functioning. He has Vivain in the bike. Needs shot to cross root belt again.
oh man, I find the narration
You
so
can't do it.
tedious.
Oh.
There's like I just don't understand why nothing useful is being said. It's so
Well,
he's telling us what's happening in the pictures.
right, and that's the only thing that's happening. And like the time that it makes it like unusual for us, and it makes us feel the tedium and like
His tension.
tenseness.
Yeah.
Yeah, and like
This is very nice.
it's got to
The
be
silhouettes.
yeah, yeah,
Really, really nice there.
yeah. I was sputtering there for a minute, y'all, but I think you get what I was saying. All right, well, shit, there he goes. One of these floating rocks comes out of the way. He's got an abandoned ship. He
What's
dives
I
out.
don't understand. This is him. This is the bike.
Right. He had
Oh,
to
I
dive
see.
out because he was unable. He was like not able to turn fast enough, and
That's
so
nice.
there he busted up the bike. Yeah, he was like, "Oh, I love that bike," but he's got his little sampler there. As we see Eppy,
Eppy's been
climbing.
fucking shit up at the tower.
yeah, he's destroying these telescope or these like cameras, these robots,
Yeah,
destroying all the
nice.
guards. Look at him, man. He is like hulked up.
This is the hand that was bit by the rat.
That's right.
Oh boy.
This is great.
Oh boy.
We are building up. I'm unable to turn it anymore. Almost at the end here. Oh my gosh. Okay. So said he'd give me a hand. All right. So Eppy's there. And then Pellon Cross is now like back on his own in the desert, all beat up. And the Maze Agency is coming.
That's the Adam Hughes book, huh?
Yeah. And Alfred and Mike, written by Mike Barr.
All right.
Boom.
Amazon.
Oh, wow. Okay. So that was the last page. What an interesting ad here for the Amazon.
Yeah. I can't wait to read the first 2 issues.
Oh, yeah. You got it now.
I got 'em now.
All right, cool. We got a little bit right there. Until next month for answers in The Devil Unveiled. This is one you don't want to miss. Thanks, Diana. All right, sweet. What a great book.
You like this issue?
It was action-packed. Yeah.
Yeah.
You didn't like the Pellon Cross stuff. I kind of like that,
I-
like sci-fi, like book stuff. That's
I
like a
like
science
it.
fiction book.
Right.
You-
It's not that I don't like it.
Yeah,
I
it's just
just
different.
I find it placed oddly. But I understand what he's doing. I just don't really get why he had to go there and fail and come back with what the purpose of all that was.
Yeah.
And I wish there was a little bit more backstory on why there's like, I mean, I know there's a war, but just like, tell me more about
And
the
what is
conflict in the
this like
Sahara.
amazing setup here in the Sahara? Like, what are we seeing here? What are we floating? Like, it could have been him too talking and been like, oh, I haven't seen this, military construct in however many years, but
Maybe it's for me that if it's to pull off that idea, I need to see it really, really
like you
live.
said you're always saying set up your location.
So that I can sort of because it was very hard to sort of see how one level of the labyrinth led to the next.
Mhm.
But I suppose that is the effect, to make it feel like a maze and you're leveling up every
Yeah,
time,
exactly.
every challenge. It's like a video game.
Yeah, we really get some interesting shots of it too.
He looks very heroic. He's got that. Looks like
Yeah,
Cable.
He does kind of look like
Right?
Cable. Yeah, he's like got
Metal
this
body.
worn out,
Yeah, looks
metally.
like Cable.
Yeah, but he's also like in this post-apocalyptic kind of wasteland or whatever. So, now what is he going to do as he's again stranded? Well, we'll find out in Grendel number 30, which will also be our number 80. So that's cool, right?
Unbelievable.
Yeah.
80 episodes of the podcast.
Wow.
Yeah, our zeros will be linked up.
Ooh, and they're psyched for this issue. Comics don't get any better than this, says Matt Wagner's nightmarish tale of the future gives us the first direct confrontation between God and the devil. Pam, pam, pam.
We'll see what happens.
Meanwhile, Pellon Cross and Pope Innocent, what did we say, 42, have a squabble of their own, which leaves the devil unveiled. This issue is written by Matt Wagner, penciled by John K. Snyder, inked by guest artist Bernie Moreau, and features hand-painted color by the one and only Joe Mad.
One and only.
$195
Truly
US,
one of a
$250
kind.
Canadian.
Yeah.
So great. Awesome.
That
Enjoyed the issue.
That will be the halfway point of God and the Devil. I think we might have
Yeah.
just passed it.
Oh, yeah. All right.
It was
I
great.
really
time.
enjoyed hanging out with you, having you here, Ben, recording with you, having you in studio, and getting kind of just like a different feel of the
definitely
cast. I
different
hope you
feel.
guys enjoyed it.
We'll have to find ways to do more of the overhead stuff.
To do the overhead stuff. Yeah, like figure it out where, I'll have the overhead and you'll have it still. And all right. So yeah, if you guys liked the format of this one a little bit more than the other ones, hit us up, and we will we'll try to grow and keep it going for y'all.
Personal growth is key.
Exactly. So from all of us here
I
at the
read that
Grendels,
somewhere.
at the Grendel News Desk in sunny Woodland Hills, California, Vivat Grendel.
Keep on growing.